get us centered and get us going. So, looks like we're recording. Okay, good. Hi, everybody. This is Dr. Kara. This is call number 2 for the Awaken Your Chakras class. We are looking at chakra number 1 this week. We have been spending some time with chakra number 1 and exploring it not only in our lives, or not only in theory, but also in our lives. And I'm really excited to see how that's going, what insights you've had, what you've healed, what questions you still have. I have a whole page of questions from you guys who responded to my email plea for where are you, what's going on, what do you still need clarity about? And of course, if you didn't get that or didn't respond, that's okay, because we're here and you can ask your questions here too. That's what this is all about. So let's get started. Let me see. I'm wondering if I can, I'm going to kind of just mute everybody so that there's no background noise and everybody can just relax for a moment. Nice and quiet, settle in. So everybody is muted. Hopefully, I don't know, it's not this way on my screen, but hopefully it is on the recording that, since I'm the one talking, that I'm the one on the screen, but we'll see. All right, can you tell I'm excited to see you guys? Oh my gosh, I'm just like, so love this. Okay, so let's just take a moment though and catch our breath, ground ourselves. So if you're in a place where you can do so, close your eyes. Take a deep breath and let it out. Either set or check your grounding cord, making sure that that beam of light energy goes all the way down through all the layers of the planet into the center of the earth. And just breathe into that. Feel your connection to the planet. And then let's take 3 nice, slow, deep breaths with our awareness at our heart center, seeing that energy coming in on our inhale, going to our heart. So inhaling new energy into the heart. Exhaling, radiating that love in every direction. Inhaling new energy in. Exhaling, just relaxing your body, filling it with new energy. And one more, inhale. And exhale. And while we're here, just allow your body to breathe itself. And take a moment to clarify your intention for our call today. It can be a word, it can be a feeling, it can be a goal. It can really be anything. Just allow that intention to become clear to you. And if you want to take a note or write it down, go ahead and do that. And I'm going to switch back to gallery view so I can see everybody. And, I can do this. Okay, so I'm going to unmute everybody. If you muted your own phone or microphone, let's see. So if you muted yourself, you're still muted. But everybody that I muted is now unmuted. If you want to be muted, you can do that by doing that on your own screen, hovering your mouse over your screen to find the little pop-up that says mute. So you can click on that. All right. So let's see, we've got 5, 10, 15, 19 people. Wow, that's awesome. We have a big group again. So let's do this, because I want to make sure that we have time to get through all of your questions. So I'm not going to have you necessarily share your intention, but I'm going to go to, I need to check in with you guys first. Let's check in. So I'm going to just go across my screen and call on you. If you want to share something, say hi, share your intention. Whatever is going on, let's just do a quick check-in so we get all connected with each other, and then we'll move over to questions and discussion and stuff. So I'm going to go left to right across the top of my screen, starting with Kathy. Kathy, if you want to share something, now's your chance. Kathy in Michigan. I can only see your ceiling.
Hi. I haven't really shared pretty many today, but I found that this past week I had a friend who had helped do some work for her. Really trying to push me off my square with.
So Kathy, I'm going to interrupt you because you're completely garbled. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you're completely garbled. And I couldn't understand even one word of what you were saying. I'm so sorry. Is there a microphone or something?
I'll just say it.
You want to try again?
I'll email her.
Okay, so Kathy's going to email it. I'll check my email. There should also be, you know what, Kathy might be quicker is to just put it in the chat.
Yeah, the chat. Yeah.
Does that work for you? Okay, perfect. I will check the chat in a minute. In the meantime, let's go to Jenny. Hi, Jenny.
Hi. Well, I have to say the thing that was a game changer for me was learning how to call back my energy. It was amazing. And I tweaked it to work for myself. The first thing I did was imagine myself like I dream of Jeannie's bottle. Everything was coming in through my crown chakra to the bottle. But then this morning, when I was grounding myself and calling back my energy, I got this vision of the cows running their dinner. So that's my go-to thing of, animals running back to me. It's like all my energy coming back. And I've been doing it several times during the day. And it has, I can't even say how much of a game changer it's been for me.
Wow, that's fantastic. And I love that image of all the animals coming back from every direction. That's so fun. Awesome. Thanks for sharing that, Jenny. Regina, you're up. Do you want to share anything? Say hi.
Hi, how's everybody? Good. I like the part where you had the magnetic in the sun, and with my name in the sun with the magnet, getting my energy back and then flowing back into my body during the meditation. That was really awesome. I love that.
Sweet. Great. Thanks for sharing, Regina. Lisa, you are next. Lisa Magulas.
Hey, I'm with Jenny and Regina. I totally forgot. Like I did the whole energy work and the grounding, and I forgot about with the golden sun to grab my energy back. So in listening to those recordings and getting that, it kind of grounded me more. And it felt really, really good. So that was a good reminder for me to just get my energy back. So cool.
Nice. Yeah. Sweet.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see who's next. you're muted, and I'm spacing out on your name, Journey with Horses LLC.
Vicky.
Vicky, gosh, sorry, Vicky.
No worries. This week, my game changer was that the grounding cord and the earth energy come into the body through two separate places. And that has really just been a huge shift for me, which was wonderful. The golden sun, I don't care for the sun. So I call back my energy through water. So I'm standing under a waterfall and I can either get a trickle from the side or stand right in the middle and just gush it in.
I like it. Very cool. Thank you. Awesome. All right. I'm getting a lot of background noise. So I'm going to mute everybody except for whoever I'm calling on. Just FYI. You guys. Okay. And so, Anne, I'm going to unmute you. Go if you want to.
Hi, everybody. It was beautiful for me to connect with octopus. I love octopuses, and just that I could feel, Dr. Carr, the way you explained, I could feel my tentacles just almost caressing the bottom of the ocean floor and the suckers, and just feeling this connection with Mother Earth. And that is the most beautiful. I'm probably going to use that image and feeling to ground myself from here on out. I have a real affinity towards octopuses or octopi. And
correct. Just know.
yeah. But that was super powerful and sensual and beautiful, and those bulbous heads and the pictures that you had and the almost supernatural beautiful coloring of them, that was fun and grounding for me.
Sweet. Thanks for sharing that, Anne. That's awesome. Let's see. I'm getting a couple of chats. So I'm going to remute you, Anne, and I'm going to switch over to Louisa. Hi, Louisa.
Hi. Well, I must say I had the most amazing, wonderful week of healing. I met a younger self of me, and today I'm going to heal and embrace her. And a younger self who felt that she had to be so independent and do everything herself. And with all the tapping this week, I just, I've done a lot of work on this chakra. It was a great week with combining all that we did together.
Yay. Wow. It just keeps going, huh?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. I love it. You just have opened up to something big in your life.
I think so. Yeah.
Right on. Fucking A, sister.
Mm.
Nice. Lisa's doing a high five to you. Right on. Thank you, Louisa, for sharing that. Okay, Bobby Joe, you want to say hi and share anything? You're still muted. Oh, there you go.
Hello, everyone. I'm a little bit still with one foot in yesterday's mentoring webinar and now here, so I may be conflating different lessons. But my intention for today is to really clarify why I am here. And I have been really enjoying all of the background material that Dr. Kara provided. And it's just beautiful. And this morning I had a tremendous, deep, profound experience of grounding cord running energy with my little mare. And I truly felt that I connected with her for the very first time at a deep level. And so I don't know if this is the time or place to share what I learned, but it was really wonderful.
Beautiful. That's great. That's great,
Good.
Bobby Joe. Thanks for sharing that.
Thank you. Thanks.
All right, I'm muting you and moving over to Loretta. Loretta, do you want to share anything? I'm going to take that as a pass. Okay, Lisa. Lisa, should I keep calling you Aussie Lisa, or is that like not politically correct?
You can call me anything you like, Cara.
Just
I
not
have
late for
no
dinner.
issue with badges or tags. No,
We
been
call you
called worse than that.
Blonde Lisa? I don't know.
I don't know.
You're up.
Just not
sister.
Lisa Simpson. I get that a lot, and it.
Oh.
Oh, it's my turn?
Yeah.
Right. My week has been utterly insane. So I've just written stuff so I don't babble. Week 1, chakra. Don't worry, it's not that long, folks. So this week on focusing on grounding, the physical, I have started walking 30 minutes a day in the early mornings, eating a healthy breakfast of blah, blah, yogurt, strawberries, blah, blah, blah. Last night I listened, this is a few days old, these notes. Last night I listened to music and I danced. It was awesome to feel my body move and to reconnect with it. I realized I had not been paying attention to my legs, hips, and lower back, loving my lower body and listening to its needs. Don't need to worry about that. Anyway, thoughts turning towards right livelihood, contemplating how and when I will make a living from my gifts and skills, boundaries, fears, overwhelm at establishing this, blah, blah, blah. Here, acknowledging this trauma with the root chakra, they're better than me, being made to feel small at my sense of humor in particular. I have a very dry sense of humor, and some people get it and some people don't. But early childhood, got chastised for being insensitive when actually it was just a dry wit. So that's something I've worked on all week to realize that's me, and not to, and to release that from my root chakra. So that's been huge. Yeah.
That is awesome and amazing. And I teared up quite a bit with all of the actions that you're taking. And I just want to let you know, I'm just making a note. Chakra 3 governs our sense of humor.
Oops.
No, it's great because it was, for you, it came up in chakra 1, and nothing is exclusive, right? All of these chakras go together. But I wanted to let you know that, because we will be tapping on sense of humor and being misunderstood and put down for who we are and how we express ourselves and how we are in the world, which fits right in with what you're doing. So there will be another layer of that to come forward for you. But
oh, wonderful.
high five on you're fucking going for it. Like, I love daily walks and everything. It's great.
Yeah, it was really about, I was sort of looking at all the notes here from the chakra summary, and I just thought, wow, I'm really not taking care of the bottom end. With all this spiritual stuff, we're always sort of up in the clouds and connecting with spirit and da-dee-doo-dee-doo. But I really wasn't aware just how much I was sort of negating my lower body, and all the stuff that was going on down there. And it's just been amazing. I just feel amazingly connected, and not only through the grounding cord, but actually my body's loving the walking and the dancing and the moving, and yeah, it's fabulous. Thank you.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Good stuff.
All right. We're going to keep moving on to Julie. Hi, Julie.
Hello, everyone. I don't know. I know it's been 7 days, but it seems like it's been 3. I've had a lot of stuff going on. I don't even know where the time has gone. It's just been a lot going on. So I'm still not done the getting started videos. Bad, Julie. So I knew that it was going to be a challenge for me to fit the course in right now with everything going on, but was hoping to get caught up, but c'est la vie. So I'm here. My intention is to just learn as much as I can from the call, and I always learn from your guys' shares. Like, and there was some stuff I was going to say which has slipped my mind now, but I did have a hypnotherapy session yesterday, and it's funny that after our call last week, I had some stuff come up about my money blocks, and so I went and did a hypnotherapy session about that, which was like very, very powerful. So I think in a way I worked on my root chakra.
You
but,
did, yes.
Not with the course material, but wow, it was extremely powerful. So that was really cool. So that was a 3-hour session yesterday, and yeah, I'm just really looking forward to getting into the material and dying to do it. It's just got all this work flooded in. I'm like, okay. So it's just really good to be back with you guys, and yeah, just happy, so grateful to be here. So thanks.
Yay, so glad you're here, and just really acknowledging like you taking the time to show up even when you haven't prepared. This is a hard thing for most of us to come and say, I didn't do it, but I'm here. And so, my hat's off to you for that. And a 3-hour hypnotherapy session on Root 1, Chakra 1 issues, like, wow. Can't wait to see how that plays out.
It was about an hour and a half of hypnotherapy and then an hour and a half of just talking. So yeah, but
good.
Past life stuff and super, yeah, very powerful.
Right on. That's great. All right, thanks, Julie. Cherry, you're next. I think yeah, there you go.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Well, morning for me anyway. I did go through all the videos, and I didn't write. I printed out the sheets, but I didn't write on them because I like to take in the information first and then go back and then I fill out the information on the sheets. But everything resonated so deeply, and the things I didn't realize were root chakra issues were. So I was just having revelation after revelation of like, what? That's a root issue too? No wonder I've got a broken toe. I've got these funky looking feet. I've got these dry skins and problems with my lower chakra. I was like just listing all the problems that I'm having with my body right now. And I'm sick to boot. Yesterday I didn't have a voice. So it's like my body is releasing. So even though I'm sick, lost my voice, I've got a runny nose and everything, but I see it as a positive that through the EFT tapping, the meditation that you provided, that my body is like, yes, it's like finally I feel like it just, the stuff in my body is shifting and able to come up to the surface. So lots of good things happening for sure. What I really liked is there was that red cone exercise, and that was meditation and spinning and imagining the bright red color. And usually when, with the animal communication course, we go through and we energize all our chakras, but this time I just focused on my root chakra. And I found that really to be effective. Not to do all at once like a general, just quick over, but just really just sit there just with a root chakra and send love to it and ask, what is it that I need to do to heal? What's coming up next? And just focusing on that. And I really got goosebumps when I was doing that. And let's see what else came up. The traumas, I have so many childhood traumas that are focused around the root chakra. And I have been healing those. It's been, a year-long journey so far. And I do feel things are healing little by little. Especially there was an image about holding on to money and just not having enough in my childhood. It's just holding on. And that's why I've got, clutter issues and trying to declutter for 2 years, and just the revelation after revelation. And it was like, gosh, thank goodness I didn't write anything down, because I would these little spaces provided would not do for the amount of trauma that I've suffered. And, you know, so I thought, okay, what am I going to do? I'll type it. I'll type it, you know. So this is where I'm at, and I'm going to go through and watch everything again to get like another layer. And rather than writing everything down, probably just, you know, just type it all. And because, you know, I'm a little bit ADHD. I like to have everything within the space, you know, and that's why it was like, what? She didn't write it all down. We have to write it all down. Man, what if it's not going to fit in here? What if my writing's not nice enough and I'm going to have to, you know, use whiteout to like redo it? I get a little bit, you know, crazy like that. But anyway, I am grateful for this sheet because it gives us a chance to think and write down and not like being spoon-fed the information. But at the other hand, like, you know, I'm gonna have to sit down at the computer and type it all. So anyway, thank you. I'm rambling a little bit. I'm really happy to be here, even in my pajamas.
We're glad you're here, Cherry. Great work. What you know, you just demonstrate such devotion to yourself and your healing. And I just want to acknowledge that. You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to Sheila. Hi, Sheila.
Hi, everyone. So this morning I was doing the, I want to call it the mantra, but it was basically the affirmation with the first chakra and the I am, and then you add the word, whatever it is. And I just kept going with those words. And I had this interesting feeling that it was basically sort of almost like a bookend to the golden sun. So when you have the golden sun and you have all the things that you're desiring or that you wish to be or qualities that you want to develop, I felt like the first chakra and saying, I am, and just watch it spin and I just had this sense of being fully supported by the things that I am wanting to develop and wanting to be and wanting to express. And that was really cool. So I wanted to share that because it was just a different way than I've thought about the first chakra before.
I love that balance. And when you look at the 7 main chakras, there's the 3 lower ones, then the heart center, and then the 3 upper ones. And the 3 lower ones tend to be, they govern more of our physical well-being, and the 3 upper ones are more of our spiritual well-being. And you really hit on that 1st and 7th chakra balance thing that happens. They complement each other, and they bookend us. I love that. And I love that because that golden sun pours into that 7th chakra. I get chills just, you know, thinking about you doing that. I love that. Thanks for that insight.
Well, and they were, you know, the first chakra type things as far as like, you know, I am entitled to be here. I am capable. I am. So I tried to have it more in relating to the first chakra, but I was amazed at how much that encompassed.
Yeah. Wow. It's fantastic. Great work. Thanks for sharing that, Sheila. Anything else?
Not really. I think what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to still learn the rhythm of how to fit this into my life. I didn't get a chance to look at the last video with the octopus. I haven't had a chance to do that yet, but one of the things I'm realizing is that I am taking notes, I am doing the homework, but I'm also realizing that this is going to be an ongoing process beyond this class. This class is going to be something that I have my notebook, and I'm going to be building on it and kind of exploring the first chakra over and over again and the second chakra over and over again. it's just going to be like layers of an onion.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. Great insight. I like the piece that I hear in your voice about that too, of just like knowing that there's layers and layers and there's more, and you can just keep coming back. Awesome.
Oh, actually, I do want to say one thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone else has thought about this, but in listening to the videos about the first chakra, I couldn't help but think about our society in general, and think about ways in which our society, the people that don't feel that they belong to our culture, or that aren't being addressed in our culture in a respectful way, how that affects the whole. I don't know. I kept finding myself thinking about how it relates to our culture and not just us personally, although I know that this is a class that's on a personal level.
But you bring up a really important point that I did want to talk about today, which the first chakra is really about tribalism and xenophobia. And we are in this country, especially in the midst of somebody who's really fucking stuck in the first chakra issues and seeing everything from really those first three chakras of it's us versus them, there's not enough. I have to get mine so you don't get yours. You're not like me, so you're wrong. And you have no value because you're not like me. And so I can discount you and I can mistreat you. And those are all first, second, third chakra. And, you know, one of the things, and we'll talk more about this in a minute, is that identity piece, right? The negative side of the first chakra is that we identify so strongly with some limited aspect of ourselves that we then exclude everybody else who doesn't share those few qualities. And culturally, that does show up as different cultures that are pushed to the outside. There's a word that I'm trying to think of, that marginalized. You know, different cultures are marginalized. And like in my town, we have a lot of homeless people who I see on a pretty regular basis because they camp along the creek where I take my walks. But they also, they cross roads regardless. They don't even look. And it's really, there's some parts of town that are really dangerous. And because you have to be on guard because there's people just doing shit, you know,
Right.
and not feeling part of the culture and not feeling
Right.
part of the norms and not paying attention to, you know, kind of the rules of society.
Right.
And that's the first chakra, right? Like you don't feel grounded, you don't feel connected, you don't feel like you belong, you don't feel like that matters to you. So I think you bring up a really important point that is definitely within the first chakra issues.
Well, it's sort of like those rules don't apply to me because they don't serve me.
Because
I don't belong with that tribe. I don't belong to this culture. So therefore those cultures' rules don't necessarily apply.
Yeah.
And it's mysterious and kind of, it makes so much sense. And so I have been thinking about that also. So thank you.
Yeah, there's a lot that you can delve into there about identity and belonging and, you know, how much we belong. And, you know, the Emperor's New Clothes is all about that as well, right? And tribalism.
Yeah.
And I saw your finger up, Lisa. But just that group identity and that mindset and the mob mindset, you know, of the group, and that's all first chakra as well. So thanks for bringing that up, Sheila. All right, I'm muting you. Lisa, I'm unmuting you. Did you have something you wanted to add?
Yeah, I just wanted to chime in on that. That's a great point, Sheila. And also I think social media has now presented to us even more tribal culture, cultural things. So you get one issue, and then you get everyone from not just your neighborhood, but globally, giving perspectives on their cultural, view on things as well. And interestingly, not moving too far into this, but politically, we've got the same kind of leader here that is just all root chakra, completely and totally. Like he's just, yeah. And of course he's they're two in the same, and there's probably more if we look globally. Interesting that you look at the leaders, the world leaders, and there's maybe one or two that are totally got it. New Zealand's Prime Minister, she's one example. But yeah, this is social media is my point, how the whole tribal aspect has just now become a global thing. So boy, does it ever need healing. It's presented for what it really is. And so we're looking at healing this chakra on a global level. And I think that's what's happening now. And some people, I've got a lot of people saying, oh, look at all these terrible things. We're in terrible times, all these terrible things. And I think, well, hang on, sometimes a wound has to get worse before it heals. And what's been happening is all of this stuff has always been there. It's just been laying low. But so this is root chakra stuff. Social media is the pin that's burst the boil, and it's all coming up. So now we have the chance to go, we can heal this, but we have to, it starts with us and then it goes out globally. So this is a huge time. We're so blessed to be in this time. Some see it as a disadvantage, the worst time ever. I see it as the best time ever, because we're here for the change. And I think, this is an awesome experience to recognize the root chakra on a personal level and then expand it and be able to heal outwardly. Does that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because a society is a collection of individuals.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
we can heal ourselves, and then we become a collection of different individuals, and then we can influence everybody else in there. So yeah, it happens on all those levels. But the power is right here. I can't heal somebody else. I can't heal, my postman. I can heal me. So if I heal me, it makes it easier for that next person to heal it in themselves. That's how it happens. It just spreads like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Lisa. All right. We're moving on. Barbara, hello. Welcome. You want to share anything?
Hi. Yes. Well, I got a late start because I was just finishing up getting started part last night. So I quickly ran through Chakra 1 before 2 today. But I've tried tapping before, and I always get confused as to what I need to be saying to myself. So maybe you can go over that a little bit later. But I was following along and and also wondering, so once we get going on that, you went quite a few minutes on the tapping. So are there certain topics that should be covered within that session and all of that? So, you can cover that later.
Okay.
But otherwise, and then I found it interesting. I've started writing I am lists before, but I never had connected it to thinking about the root chakra at the same time. So this will be interesting when I start doing that and how it all comes out to play. Because when I said my I am before, I feel empowered, but it doesn't seem to last that long. And I try to do it daily, but you get busy with life and you don't do it daily. But like you suggested, we need to do the grounding morning and evening. So I'm going to start doing that.
Awesome. And Barbara, too, remember the goal line and the soul line, because when you make those affirmations or that list and they become affirmations that you repeat, as you do that, anything that's not aligned with that is going to come up to be healed. And oftentimes it comes up as distractions and reasons not to do that. So that's why a lot of times we kind of start on a new path and then something comes up, but it's this limiting belief that we can't be whatever we're becoming. We can't be grounded and powerful and living our right livelihood. And so we just kind of let that slide and we don't really do it anymore. So the opportunity there is to keep going through that, even if you don't want to, and see what comes up, because that's the healing process of what are the beliefs, what's coming up that's stopping me from doing my affirmations. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. Okay.
And thanks for your tapping question. We'll definitely talk about that a little bit more. All right, great. Anything else?
No, just happy to be here and taking your course. And because I've taken other courses and self-improvement courses, but I guess the core of everything really does come down to the chakras. So as long as I'm working on that, I should be good to
go. You'll get everything covered. It's all in there. Awesome. Glad you're here, Barbara. Thanks. All right, we're going to mute you and unmute Joanne. Hi, Joanne.
Hi. I made it.
Yay. And you're in your first chakra colors today, too.
I am. And the hair. So.
And the hair, always.
That tells you a lot. I'm also an Aries, so I'm a double Aries. So that's double red. I am not in my car today. I really, I had this whole process happen just very quickly this morning. I guess I haven't been very grounded because I was totally off. I thought that the call was every 2 weeks. And so I saw the email this morning and realized, oh my gosh, I haven't caught up, So I had this battle, this tug of war, and I was thinking about quitting because it's so hard to fit in to my schedule. And I went, no, I'm not going to. This is for me. And so I called off work, and that was a whole process, just saying I'm taking this day for myself, my own spiritual growth. And so then I did that, and I found all the stuff, and I've been sort of cramming, which is, a real Aries way of doing things. So I've been working all morning on the Chakra One, and I really love the layout of this. The way you have this set up is great. I'm filled out my papers and all that, and I had to stop at the tapping part. So I'm looking forward to doing that later today. And I know how powerful that can be. But I did have 2 shares that came up for me, root chakra issues. I had one trauma that came up for me when I was a kid. When I was a little kid, I was super sensitive. My mom, everyone around me told me, you're too sensitive, you're too sensitive. My feelings would get hurt easily. I'd feel the moods of others. Now, looking back, I see that I was a little bit empathic, and I didn't know what to do with it. And I would become overwhelmed and, either get really kind of shut down or, just withdraw. And I remember seeing my mom was very intuitive also, and she would tell me, you're too sensitive, but she wouldn't tell me what to do to, feel safe, or what to do about it to be less sensitive, or to do it in a safe way. And so that came up for me this morning. And my mom's passed away way back when I was in my 20s, and we communicate a bit. I feel her around me, and I love her, and I have forgiven that. And I'm so grateful because I've got a lot of her characteristics, and I'm proud of that. So there was that. And the other thing about our animal guide this time is the praying mantis, and I have him on my phone. So I had this weird thing happen a few weeks ago, and I was at a baseball game and with a friend, and we heard this commotion behind us, and some people were freaking out because there was a praying mantis hanging around, just like one of those brown ones. Big, beautiful thing. And one of the guard ladies, one of the ushers, she said, "Kill it, kill it." And I was going, I just turned around and said, "No, what? No, why would you kill it?" And so anyway, this praying mantis made its way to us, me and my friend, and we had it crawling on us and stuff. And I couldn't really think of what to do because, the game's a long thing. So we were right on the edge, right at the edge of the field. So we just lifted it down onto we were way in the outfield. So we lifted the praying mantis down on the ground and let him be. And I figured he's safe. And then this other guard walked over and he looked us right in the eye and he just stomped on it. And I went ballistic. It scared me. This rage came out of me. And my friend was pissed off too. And we were yelling at him about what the heck's. I was swearing. I'm surprised we didn't get kicked out, but this righteous rage just came out of me. What did you do that for? You didn't need to do that at all. There was no reason to do that, etc. And it took me a long time to come down from that. And I think that some of that represents maybe times I've felt I should have stood up for things before. I don't know if it's like cruelty to animals, or I can't think of a time that I wouldn't have done that. But some old memories are kind of surfacing from why I went into that rage. I don't know, but it's definitely was root chakra stuff. So those are the two things that I want to share. And my intention is to become fully present, period. Become fully present, but also with this group. I feel a little bit like I'm still trying to fit this into my daily routine, and I believe I can because I want to, but so that's why my intention is that let the group get to know me a little bit. I've been listening to the calls, so I feel like I know you all, but I want you to be able to get to know me too. So that's it for now.
That's great. I love it. You want to be seen and connected and part of the group and integrated. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing all of that.
You're welcome.
My heart still kind of hurts for that praying mantis.
It was awful.
Yeah. The betrayal of trust there. I mean, not that you betrayed its trust, but that it went from this place of love and appreciation and celebration and caring to just like.
Well, it's like a power and control and a meanness. There was a real meanness of spirit to do that. Yeah.
We'll talk about his chakra 3 in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
The guard that did that.
Okay.
Thanks, Joanne. Let's see, Sharon, you're up next, and you put something in the chat. Do you want me to just read that, or do you want to say something? So Sharon, you're unmuted just in case you want to say something. So I'm not hearing you, so I'm thinking you can't talk or, would rather not. So I'm going to just read what you wrote. I'm muting you again. So Sharon says, I love how to get all senses involved in the grounding cord. Tell it, know it, see it, feel it. Awesome. Love the grounding cord and how to get all the senses involved. Not only see, but feel, no, tell. The tapping drove me crazy. It's too long for me. And then just stop. Don't do it. Just stop. When it's too long, just don't do it anymore. But glad you're here, Sharon. Thanks for sharing that. And as long as I'm reading, I'm going to go back to Kathy, and then we have Jean and Pamela. And then we've gotten all of our connections with everybody. So Kathy, who I called on first, said she's got an old laptop, had a hard time this week with an empath intuitive friend who kept me pushed away, stating she was feeling like I was bringing a dark cloud into her life, but it's not what she's doing. Something in the universe trying to speak through me, totally a foreign language to me right now, but I kept working on staying grounded, keeping my heart and mind open to what may need to be revealed, but at the same time protecting myself, getting out in nature, pruning the trees, clearing out old. And just when I thought I was done, the wind knocked down half the dual-trunked box elder. Sad. I guess I needed to stay connected and outside this week. So Kathy, yes. So here's, that's perfect chakra 1 stuff, being out in nature, touching the earth, all of that is very grounding. And it sounds like this friend was kind of trying to blow you off course. And so you did the exact right thing, which is to regroup and recenter and reground. And I'm looking at where your little thing is. And allowing that to be. So coming back to yourself and making sure that you're grounded, making sure that you're centered is a great response, and staying with that first chakra. We can all get accused of things in our lives that aren't accurate, or have our intentions misinterpreted or portrayed as other than what they are. And coming back to get grounded with a grounding cord, with doing the chakra 1 fixes, is a great way to balance that and find your way through that relationship, because something sounds a little bit out of whack there. So hats off to you for doing exactly what you needed to do to take care of yourself there. Okay, so let's go to Jean. Jean, I'm going to unmute you, and welcome. If there's anything you want to share, go ahead.
Okay, so an advantage or disadvantage is getting to listen to everybody else first. So, because that just made me think some things along the way. But what I noticed at the beginning when you were kind of saying to think about our intention or our goals for this time, is I found myself on what I perceive as a less profound level, wanting to understand things about the chakras, like causes versus symptoms. And as time's gone on and I've gotten to listen to people, it helped me maybe expand on that a little, because one of the things that I've been aware of and just had confirmed through an astrology consultation I did is that I have probably for many lifetimes been in a place of reason and need to really trust that intuitive piece more. And then what I thought with this root chakra, because I'm kind of more in my head about wanting to understand causes versus symptoms, is this seems like one more example. Because what happened is it's allowed me to reflect on that I was a social worker like for 1,000,000 years. And then the positive part of that, there were a number of positive parts of that. One being that led me to become an animal Reiki practitioner. And so that speaks to my heart, where social work didn't. But the issue was that I had breast cancer. I figured that was my first wake-up call, and I didn't wake up enough. So then I developed chronic fatigue. And so I have spent years addressing chronic fatigue, and over my lifetime have done a lot of counseling. I was obviously in a profession that really worked with people on a lot of personal issues. I've done a lot of energy work. I'm an animal Reiki practitioner, so I do daily work around that. And then I thought, seriously? So this first chakra, now I've got all this family of origin stuff that somehow may have contributed, caused chronic fatigue. How does that impact my path? So it's just bringing forth a lot of questions. So I haven't necessarily, even though I've watched all the videos, I've completed the worksheets, I have more questions. than processes, maybe is a better way to say it. So I don't, you know, there you have it.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing all that, Jean. And of course you do. This is not comprehensive. This isn't everything you ever needed to know about Chakra 1 in your life. This is like, we're cramming a lot into 1 week, and I would totally expect that it would raise a lot of questions for you, especially considering what you've already gone through with your health and your health issues, and having the new perspective. This is a paradigm shift to go, oh, wait a second, let's look at this, you know, from a different point of view. So totally, like, I feel like you're just totally right on track, that this class is waking up in you a different way to see yourself, a different way to see your health, and giving you different tools for addressing issues on different levels, so that that energetic and physical integration can be a little bit more complementary. And the other thing that you said that I really want to acknowledge too is that acknowledgement of wanting to understand everything mentally, understand what's cause and what's symptom, and which direction does things go, being part of a larger pattern of not trusting your intuition, not trusting your body, and kind of staying up here a little bit removed. I'm pointing to my head. I know you can't see me, but staying up in the head rather than really residing in your body and knowing your own truth. So that's kind of what struck me about what you shared, and I just want to give you a chance to respond, or, you know, whatever, if you want to.
First of all, I can see you, and I can see everybody else. It's just I don't have a camera activated on my computer, so I have my phone set up for the voice, and you just can't see me, which maybe is good sometimes.
Okay, good to know.
I don't have to worry about my hair, but or my dress, or whatever. But what's funny to me is I've always trusted my intuition with people. That has caused me a lot of it's provided a lot of good guidance over the years. And my goal in the last 15 years has been to get that intuition around other people, or around people, to the same level. I want that to be also with animals. So the funny thing is, as you just made that comment, is I think, well, maybe I need to spend some time trying to better understand my intuition, my self-intuition about me. I have to think about that and think, have I focused on that really? That's just an interesting, a third facet.
Yeah, good aha.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Jean. And sure. Last but certainly not least, we'll shift over to Pamela. Hi, Pamela. Anything you want to share?
Let me get myself unmuted. Can you hear me now?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay, well, I'm finding, as is everybody else, this is just not 1 week work on the root chakra and, oh wow, we're enlightened and here we go, let's move on to the next chakra. This is a definite process. When I was filling out my chakra summary and chakra exploration, I'm finding that I'm not writing down anything new that anything that I didn't already know that I had issues with. Just by writing it down and being in this new space of wanting to explore the chakras. And I took this class for the sole purpose of knowing that it is a doorway for me to really open up into my intuitive higher self knowing and let that energy come down. So I'm finding that my root chakra kind of sways back and forth between excessive and deficient, open and closed. So I'm going about it in more of a playful way not getting too worked up, because if I do, I'll go into overwhelm and I'll go into that depressive place that I so easily go into. I've as I've been driving this week to and from work and to and from outings, I'm seeing bright red trees, and it's like, oh, red. And I focus in on my root chakra and I bring the awareness to the cone and spin it open. And then I kind of smile to myself and say, yeah, it's these little steps through the day that that you do to keep on learning and keep on growing and keep on expanding your understanding, Pam, in your root chakra. So I see this weekly chakra summary as kind of a summary of an overall life summary. So now I'd like to go in and say, all right, let's just see, really look at what I've done this week, what I'm noticing. I really do feel like just by doing this process of writing, of tapping, of being in the awareness and bringing my awareness to my root chakra, that I'm doing really wonderful healing in and of itself. I've had a long-standing wrist problem due to the years of doing massage, and this week it has flared up incredibly. So there's a definite message for me there with regard to reaching out and grasping. Maybe I have been reaching out and grasping wrongly. And so, Dr. Kara, when you talk about right living, that's really resonating with me. So I know that's a lot of yakking there, but I really do feel like I'm just going at it more softly and really feeling a difference in my beingness after week 1. So, phew.
Yay. Thanks for sharing all that, Pamela. Is it okay if I ask a couple follow-up questions?
Yes.
Are you still a massage therapist for work?
Yes.
And which hand? Which wrist?
Right. My right.
So I got a really strong hit that is coming up to make you look at how you're going out into the world to make money.
Yeah. And I really want to, I've been doing this doing massage since 1991. And the last 3 years I've been, studying, semi-studying. I want to be an animal communicator, and I really want to move out of massage and into telepathic communication with animals and make a living with it. And I've been holding back. So that makes sense.
Yep. And so I hope it's okay if I just offer you a little bit of feedback.
Yes, please.
Is that okay? I feel like it's really important for you to start making that shift now in the work that you're doing. So potentially moving to doing more energy work than massage on people or something like that, but to start gradually moving in that direction away from the physical and into the energetic and intuitive and spiritual.
Yes.
Does that make sense, Pamela?
Yes, and I have put that off. I mean, I integrate energy work into my massages all the time. It's that there's this element of, oh, I've got to do the deep tissue because that's what they came here for. And so I'll sneak in the energy work. But so again, it's like, what, are you allowing people outside yourself to run your life out of fear that, oh my God, if I say, no, I can't do deep work, I'm moving my practice more to energy healing, and then they don't come. Well, and then, here I am, I'm a hand to mouth kind of girl. I've struggled all these years in massage. And so money is a big issue. Root chakra is a huge issue for me. And I'm attempting to go at this work in a more playful, lighthearted way. but yeah, there's definite big work to do, and I'm feeling the shifts already. So
Awesome. So here's the thing about chakra 1 issues is when they get triggered, they make us feel like we're going to die. Right? Like they feel huge. It's our physical survival on the planet. And so I heard that shift in your voice as you kind of shifted into getting triggered there. And
yes,
I'm just going to invite you to breathe a little bit deeper, check your grounding cord and tap. Whenever you feel that feeling coming over you, tap. When we set our grounding cord and when we do the tapping, we literally turn our nervous system out of fight or flight into rest and digest, where we can feel safe and comfortable again.
yeah.
So the answer is always ground and tap. No matter what the question is, ground, tap, and love. Ground, tap, and love. That is always the answer.
Karen, when you do that, is there a specific spot to tap? Like in that specific instance?
Tap wherever you can.
Okay.
So if it hits me and I'm in the car, I tap all the time. But if I'm at Thanksgiving dinner and I get triggered, I tap on my fingers under the table like that. Wherever you can tap there. If you can't tap, picture those points in your mind. Your intention will bring the energy there. That will work. If all you can do is this under the table or at a meeting, do that. When I used to be in meetings, gosh, I hate going to meetings. And I used to do a lot of them when I was teaching in college. And so I would do things like tap on the top of my head, but I would make it look like I was just putting my hair back. So I'd get all those tapping points, but, kind of disguising it. So you can be very surreptitious about it. A lot of people, we just kind of go like this sometimes. Okay. So however you want to fit it in, Julie, you can, just work it in. And whatever you can do in the moment, like this is my go-to, just do that. If that's all you can do that. That's fine, or that, whatever you can do. The more you can do, the better. The more you can get to all those points, the better. But if all you can do is one point, just keep doing that point and breathing.
Awesome, thanks. Because as you know, I tear up when I go to say stuff. So if this can help me with that, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, grounding cord. Awesome, thank you. Thanks, Pamela. Thanks, everybody. I really love this. And I'm just looking at the clock, and it's already 3:15 here. So Vicki had to go feed horses. She says she loves this tribe. I'm assuming you guys all got this chat from her and wants to know about the Facebook group. There should be a link in the emails. I'll make sure that the link is in the email going out with the replay so that everybody can join that Facebook group. It's just facebook.com/groups/Awaken Your Chakras 2019. So Pamela has to leave. Bye, Pamela. We'll see you next week, hopefully. Deep breaths, and trust, and be gentle with yourself, knowing that you're doing the best you can, and you got to do what you got to do to take care of yourself. Bobby Joe's going to go feed the ponies too. Bye, Bobby Joe. So I've got my list of questions that people sent in to me, and I think what I'd like to do is go through those first and then open it up to you guys for questions that you have right now. Does that sound good? Yeah? Thumbs up? Okay. So I had a couple questions about the chakras and the spinning. Chakra 1 and chakra 7 are at the bottom and the top. And so those cones, there's only one for chakra 1 and one for chakra 7. And the chakra 1 points downward, and the chakra 7, the cone goes up and out. So it's kind of like that. And then the chakra 1 is the opposite. It's like that. I don't know if I can do that. The spin was confusing for a lot of people. So the spin, if you were inside your body looking down at your first chakra, it would spin towards your left leg. So if you were stirring a bowl, it would spin looking down, it looks like counterclockwise towards your left leg. So if you had like a pendulum or something between your knees, it would go in that direction. Or if you were stirring a bowl, if you're cooking something or cooking soup or stirring something, it would go for you counterclockwise, but the energy is really spinning clockwise from the bottom up. All right, and that's according to that right hand rule in physics. It governs all energy and movement. So does that answer questions about that? Any other questions? Okay, we're good. Let's see. So another question was, are these chakra 1 issues? Not bonding with your mom, hard to make friends, judging people? Yes. If you did not bond with your mom, it's going to affect every other relationship, and you're going to feel like it's just you against the world, and it's going to be really hard to trust anybody, to feel safe, and that's going to go out into everything. Let's see. So another question about chakra 1 is about the causality, right? So which way does it go? And it's really chicken and the egg. If our chakra 1 is out of balance, we're going to get injuries, we're going to get illnesses, we're going to get physical imbalances there. So you can do the energetic work and have it show up as a physical change. You can do the emotional work for that chakra and have it show up as a physical change. And the reason I can be so sure about this is because I've done it in my own body. I used to have kidney stones and gallstones. And the work that I did was on the 3rd chakra issues. And as I healed those emotional wounds from my past, my physical body changed. So I'm not a medical practitioner. I'm not medically trained. I'm not telling you guys don't go to a doctor. I'm just saying, again, like that 5 levels of healing, address whatever your issue is on all 5 levels, because it goes in both directions. Typically, you're not going to get a knee or an ankle injury if your 1st chakra is balanced, because it's going to flow and bend and move and have that flexibility to adjust. It could happen that your 1st chakra is really strong and you get some kind of physical damage to that area, and then watch what emotional issues related to the 1st chakra come up, right? So that's where that work is too. So you're going to find it goes in both directions. So I hope that answers that question. It can go in both directions, and you can heal from any direction. So whatever is coming up for you with that issue, look at it. What are the emotions that are coming up? What are the physical symptoms? What's the mind talk, the self-talk that goes on with it? Oh, this is never going to heal. Oh, I'm too old to heal this. Oh, nobody ever recovers from this. Whatever that is going to be connected to a more umbrella belief in that chakra. Is that making sense? Just like give me some thumbs up or nods if that makes sense. Okay. Because I'm trying to be respectful of your time and yet also respect the questions that you have. So does balancing the chakra heal pain? Yes, it can. Yes, it very much can. And so that's the beauty of being integrated on all levels, is we can do the energetic work and have it show up as a shift in our mindset, as a shift in our belief system, as a shift in the emotions that are connected, as a shift in the physical manifestation of that part of the body. And sometimes it doesn't. So that's the other side of things. Like I've told you guys about my shoulder, right? Well, my go-to is energetic, and I went and I had Reiki and I had Bowen, and it didn't fucking help. And so it was not the thing that was out of balance in that sense. I had to go, and I actually ended up doing acupuncture and physical therapy. So I had to address it on every level. I've also been looking at the belief system about receiving help and asking for help, and how much do I have to do myself versus delegating and asking and all those kinds of things. So what am I, and Sharon, you're here because you were bringing some of this up too, like, what's that weight on my shoulder? What are those shoulds? And because it's my left shoulder, and our shoulders really represent our ability to reach out into the world, I'm looking at those issues for it as well. And I'm tapping on those things. So you don't know until you try. There's no silver bullet of just working on the energetic level is going to heal all those other levels. But now that you know about it, don't ignore it either, right? Like, start doing some of those physical activities, or eating those foods, or doing those affirmations, and just tune up that chakra that governs that area, so that you're really approaching everything from that multi-level paradigm. Okay, so I'm just looking at my notes here. What happens to the other chakras if chakra 1 is unbalanced? So the chakras interact, and they can all influence each other. So it's not just that chakra 1's at the bottom, and so if that's out of whack, then everything else is, you know, kind of timbering around. But everything can be affected in some way. For example, if you didn't bond with your mom, then you find it hard to make friends. Well, making friends is really a second chakra issue. Intimacy is really a second chakra issue. So that first chakra trauma is going to affect your second chakra as well. But as you balance, and you can come at it from both ends of that, right? You can do things to do some trust exercises with a partner for second chakra. You could also work on healing your relationship with your mom, whether she's alive still or not, and come at it from both first and second chakra. So the chakras are paired: 1 and 7, 2 and 6, 3 and 5. The heart chakra, number 4, is in the center. So oftentimes you'll get congruence between those chakras and those issues. So, and it's not something that's written in stone. We'll talk more about this as we go through. I just want to touch on it here and plant that seed. But you can really look at those pairings of the chakras around the heart chakra to see, like, what are those issues that might be related to each other, because they are paired that way.
Dr. Carr, could you
go ahead, Ann.
Could you tell us the pairing again?
Yeah, so heart chakra is at the center, so 4 is in the center. And then going out from there would be 3 and 5, 2 and 6, and 1 and 7. And you know what, you guys, I'm just going to unmute everybody. So if you have questions, go ahead.
What do you mean by pairing? That they're paired?
That they're paired in that they balance each other, that they are a little bit, so 1 is a little bit more related to 6 than maybe 1 is to 5. I mean, 2 is to 6 than 2 is to 5. There's just kind of complementary issues that seem to be connected between those. Who is that, Lisa? Is that your dog?
Sorry. Yeah, sorry.
That's awesome.
She's got, it's my old dog. And she sounds like I think she might have been a little piglet in a previous life. She grunts all the time. She grunts.
I love it.
Sorry.
I love old dogs. I love older dogs.
So,
you want to say hello?
That's something we'll go deeper into. I don't want to go
Thank
into
you.
it now. We're just starting. Sorry, Sheila.
Thank you.
Sorry.
You're saying
You say hello. Hello. That's my oldest child, my oldest fur kid. Sorry, Dr. Carr.
No, that's okay. I'm looking at my notes. So the other question that I got ahead of time, I got to go back to this. So I think, Anne, this was your question. Can chakras spin in the other direction? This is
Yeah.
really important, and I'm glad you brought this up. Yes, they can, and it sucks. It's horrible. I will not do this, but I have been in groups. I was in an energy healing workshop, like a long weekend retreat thing, where they had us spin our chakras the other way, and it's horrible. So if you spin your first chakra the opposite way, and they can only spin one direction at a time, but if you don't, even if you slow down that spin, you start to get kind of like, nervous and all that stuff. But if you spin it the other direction, man, it sends you off the deep end into all of the fears, all the negative side of that chakra. So first chakra spinning in the wrong direction is going to make you afraid and competitive, and everything that is what we see as the negative side, the xenophobia. I mean, this might explain a lot about some people having their chakras spinning the wrong way potentially, because it's so extreme, right? So yes, they can spin the other direction. Please don't try this at home. Really, I'm serious. Like, just don't. Thank you for asking that, Anne. The other question that I got ahead of time is, how do I respond to negative, bitter siblings? So this is a first chakra issue, also a little bit of a second chakra issue. And unfortunately, it's not a simple answer that here's what you do. But what do I want to say? The protocol, the course of action is to always start with make sure that you're grounded, make sure that you're honoring yourself, make sure that you're true to yourself. This will make more sense as we go through, especially those first three chakras, because our family of origin are our biggest triggers for our healing. And so in general, number one, it's always make sure you're grounded whenever you're dealing with anybody who's really challenging for you. Number two is try not to get caught up in the drama. So earlier we talked about Kathy's friend trying to sway her with disinformation. And so responding to disinformation validates it. And so as much as you can, don't respond to it. And because it's our family of origin, the stakes are always really high. It's very first chakra. It always feels like life and death. If we had more time, I would go deeper into this, but we can do this next week or in the Facebook group if you guys want. But really, you can do the work on yourself to become the clearest channel that you can, and keep that spiritual perspective in mind of, if it's inside of me, it's mine, it's coming up to be healed. Thank you for mirroring to me something that's inside of me. If it's out there, it's somewhere inside of me as well. So whatever you're saying to them or about them, some part of you is also saying to you about you. So, they're so selfish. Well, where am I being selfish with myself? How can I heal this in myself? This is a place to start. And then the other question around that was, how can I heal this relationship with my siblings? And a couple of ideas that I had that I wanted to share are, number one, it's possible that you can't. Not to be a negative Nelly, but we can't heal everything. We can't do it all for everybody else. Not everybody's going to respect us and our boundaries and our choices, even if they are our family. So be open to the possibility that there's other outcomes, rather than you can make this work. Take the pressure off yourself that it's up to you to make this relationship work. It's a two-way street, right? I think I talked about this in the Getting Started material. How you are with yourself as you go through the issue is the issue. So how you are with yourself as you deal with your sibling relationships is the bigger issue. How are you treating yourself? How are you talking to yourself? How are you taking care of or not taking care of yourself? know that things can be healed as well, but it's not up to you. And you need to let go of the outcome because you are not solely responsible for the state of health of that relationship. And there are, and I haven't tried this, but I really want to because I have some of these issues in my family of origin as well. There's a thing called constellation healing. And I'm looking, Jenny, like, have you heard of this? Have you tried this? Do you want to speak to that a little bit real quick?
I haven't tried it, but I've talked to several people who have, and I've heard it highly recommended. I've been interested in it, but I just haven't done it yet. But yeah, it's very powerful.
Yeah, and I'm exactly the same. So I've heard of it for a number of years. I've wanted to try it. It hasn't really worked out that I've found the right way to do that. But I've heard it's really powerful for healing those family relationships and those roles and those agreements that we all have. And just, recognizing that you're an autonomous divine being having a human experience, and so are they. And you have soul contracts with each other to promote each other's healing. So some of the conflict that comes up in families comes up in order to catalyze healing. So as much as you can take that spiritual context for everything and look at what can I heal inside myself here, heal it inside yourself first before you respond, if you can, is the best. Because if you're triggered, your triggers are going to be triggering each other and you're going to go back and forth. But if you get triggered and you can do the healing on yourself and then respond, then that has the greater chance for a positive outcome. That's kind of a whole couple of lessons in a very small nutshell. But I did want to address that because it is first chakra, and so many of us do have family of origin issues that are super challenging. And like I said before, because it's first chakra, these are the highest stakes. And I hate starting this class with the first chakra for that very reason, because I want you guys to kind of get comfortable with the processes and all that before we go into the high stake stuff. But it doesn't make sense to start with chakra 4, numerically, it just doesn't. And visually, it doesn't either. So we're starting here and we can always come back and do more. So I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to, Lisa wants to say something real quick. I'm going to open it up to any other final thoughts or questions, super quick, because we got to finish. So go ahead, Lisa.
Here's my question. Healing the root chakra, does that, like healing yourself, does that sometimes, how do I say this? Healing can be disassociation with family. Like healing doesn't mean you have to be all warm and fuzzy again, because if your soul has agreed to come in this body with this family to learn these lessons, sometimes the lesson might be learnt and then that disassociates from those people or those souls, even if they're biological or not. So healing, am I right in saying healing sometimes is disassociation because the lesson's done and dusted?
Exactly. It's kind of like we can do a healing on someone who's dying. It's not going to make them stop dying.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So healing is really the application of love to the places inside that hurt. It is not a specific outcome. And in this situation with first chakra, it's exactly what you're saying. Healing sometimes means removing yourself from the situation. You got the lesson and now you don't have to stay stuck in whatever that pattern is.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Lisa. Great question. Anything else on your minds, guys, before we close?
Well, Kara?
Yeah, Sheila, and then Julie.
I do have a question, and I feel like it's kind of a big bomb, and I don't expect a lot of conversation about it, but just very briefly, if you could sum up suggestions on the whole bonding with your mother first chakra thing. Really briefly, is there any way that you could say heal? I mean, is it just tapping, acknowledging, sending love?
It's a great question. So I'm trying to think of how I can summarize this the best. So if you feel like you have not a close relationship, not a supportive relationship with your mom, that you didn't bond with your mom early on, and now you're starting to see like that ripple effect to every other part, every other relationship, every other part of your life, right? And as Lisa pointed out for us, you may not be able to heal that relationship in the physical, in the
Right.
right? So the
Right.
outcome does not necessarily look like mom and I going out for lunch every Friday. It just means that I'm no longer under the spell of this past trauma in my life. I've now healed that, so the effects of that are not still operating in my world.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you a shorthand. Tapping is awesome. So the reason that I have you guys go through on the worksheet to go back to a memory is because of the power of that. Going back as far as you can, you really get to the seed that was planted, that's been rippling out. It's like throwing the stone in the pond and all those ripples come out. So go to the stone and heal the stone. Don't heal each ripple, right? So if you can go back to an incident, even if you make it up, here's the really cool thing about this kind of work is if you don't have a specific memory of, you know, being a baby in the crib and you're calling for your mom and she doesn't come get you, you can make one up and work with that, because whatever's going to come up is going to be pretty close to accurate. So feel free to use that creativity in this process. I recommend tapping with everything. So the first thing to do is to really allow yourself to feel the feelings or release the emotions that have been bottled up inside of you that didn't get expressed. So go back and, you know, be that little infant and feel how horrible it was. And I recommend tapping with it, because that's going to move it all through faster, and you're going to not have to be in that uncomfortable place as long, right? You'll move through that. But those emotions, that's the first step of the healing, is to release the emotions. The next step is to recognize the core beliefs or the judgments you made about yourself and that situation. So typically we go into, I'm not worthy, I don't matter, I don't love, I'm not lovable, I'm powerless, somebody else has to take care of me. Sorry, my kids are calling me because I'm supposed to be meeting them. All of those things. So identify, speaking of kids and moms, right? Not bonding. Yeah, it's just my kids. Yeah, screw it. No, wait. So identify what those judgments and beliefs are. And then you get to choose, like, is this serving me? Do I want to keep this belief that I'm not worthy of people's time and attention and caring? Do I want to keep the belief that nobody's ever going to love me because my mom doesn't love me because clearly something's wrong with me? And really go into and explore that and recognize what those are. And then you get to do self-forgiveness.
Okay.
So the judgments are the glue that hold the pattern in place. And that's why it's really important. But you can't really get to those until you clear that emotional charge. So clearing the charge, then looking at the mental patterns, then doing the forgiveness, and then stating your new truth. You're going to take that old belief and you're going to go, yeah, that program is not mine. Goodbye. But here's what I'm putting in its place. The truth is, I am whole and complete and lovable and worthy. I deserve to be here. I choose to be here. I need to be here. I'm here for a reason. All of those things, you're going to put those in the place with those truth statements. So you start with the emotional, you go to the mental, you do self-forgiveness, and then you do your truth statements. It's a 4-step process. I personally highly recommend tapping throughout. Sometimes tapping can be distracting for recognizing the judgment. So you might want to tap on the emotions And then, you know, kind of take a breath and go, oh, what were the thoughts that go behind that? And you know, make a list of those, and then do the self-forgiveness. And tapping during self-forgiveness is super powerful. Tapping in the truth statements. If there's any part of you that doesn't believe it yet, you're going to clear that part of you so that truth gets accepted by all of you, all the parts of you. So I thought about including this in the getting started material, and I thought, God, I already have like 75 videos in there, and you guys are going to like quit before you even start because there's too much. So I'm going to go back and I'll make a video on this for you guys and put it in the getting started.
Cool.
Because it's really good stuff, and it's a good system to have in place. It's a good understanding of the process. And this is really the process that you guys probably notice I do in all of my tapping videos anyways. So you already have it in your bodies. You've already been through it. But now I'll formalize it and make it a 4-step process for you so that you have that. And I might even have Yares make a little infographic for you if you want. So you can have that in your class binders as well.
Wow, thank you.
Okay, great question, Shirley. I hope that was a pretty complete answer.
That was amazing. Thank you.
Okay, sure, you're welcome. Anything else, you guys? Because I do have to kind of go be a mom really, really soon, like, 45 minutes ago. Julie, yes, Julie, sorry, forgot.
Okay, really quickly, I typed it in the box, but I was just wondering about the chakra direction. You explained the root very well, which I've actually had that question for a while now, and I keep going to ask you. But so,
can I pause you just so I can tell them I'm alive and I'm sorry. Hey, Lex. I'm still teaching my class. Am I meeting you guys at 4 at the shoe place? Oh, okay. All right, then I'll see you guys when you get home. Thank you. Bye. Okay, so sorry, Julie, go ahead.
No worries. Now I'm all thinking about shoes.
Her zipper broke on her boots and she wants me to take them to the cobbler guy to get fixed.
Oh, cool.
So we were going to meet there today, but now she's coming home, which is great because that means I don't have to run off and drive like a mad woman to pick people up. Sorry, go ahead.
It's okay. So I've actually had the question. I realized a little while ago, I'm like, oh, so I think when I did the talk with your pet class that you said to do clockwise for the chakras going out, and you'd go clockwise the direction you're facing. So clockwise this way and then clockwise backwards. Like if you were looking backwards, it would still be clockwise. Is that correct?
It's always the right hand rule. So it's here. So this is an easy one for me to do. So here's my right hand.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sticking my thumb in to my 5th chakra.
Okay.
I'm curling my fingers. So in the front, it's going this way. If I was looking from your perspective at me, it's clockwise.
Oh. I'm really glad.
But from your body, but from sitting inside your body, it's going to the left.
If I was inside my 5th chakra, it would look like counterclockwise, but it's the right hand rule. So it's always, you stick your thumb in and you curl your fingers. It gets confusing because the front and back chakras rotate in opposite directions for that very reason.
I've been doing it backwards the entire time.
Oh shit.
For like a year and a half.
It's so easy to do.
I'm so glad you're okay.
Well, it's been rough, I tell you. But I have really struggled with getting them to spin. Yeah,
because they don't want to spin that way.
No, they don't. Sometimes they do. Sometimes it's easy, but okay, so can you draw like a picture by chance and send it? Because like I know I'm not going to get it unless I see it in a picture.
I have not seen a very good picture of it. The one place I've seen a pretty decent picture of it is Hands of Light by Barbara Brennan, and I can't find my copy of that book. So I will look online for a picture of the chakra spin. There's got to be pictures. And you guys, if anybody comes across it, just post a link in the Facebook group or something. But yeah, I will do that. But always just remember that right hand rule.
I've never heard of the right hand rule, so it's still confusing to me because I'm one of those.
If I may interject, I'm sorry to interject, Julie, but I think it is a little bit confusing. But I was told, maybe by Kara in the beginning, that if someone is looking at you, not you, just forget yourself for a moment. Someone is looking at you, and it's spinning in the clockwise direction for them. Does that help?
Is that the same from if they're standing behind you and they're looking at you?
So
yes.
So it's always yes. So they're behind you looking at you, and it's clockwise as well. So it's the opposite. So in my mind, I'm seeing this.
Yep.
Yeah. So if you're because I picture it from being inside myself.
Yeah, that gets really confusing.
Counterclockwise then. So counterclockwise, looking out towards the front, and if I had eyes in the back of my head, still counterclockwise, looking out for myself.
Right. So the person outside of you is always seeing clockwise.
Yeah.
Just imagine Kara's looking at you.
Yeah. From outside, it's clockwise. But always just stick your thumb there.
Yeah, it's confusing. I just imagine someone looking at me, and it's clockwise, and they're looking at my back, and it's clockwise. So in my mind, I've got these two parts, and they're spinning, but to me they look counterclockwise, but for other people they look clockwise.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna work on this. Thank you, everyone. I'm one of those people where I can get complicated, like calculus math stuff, but you give me how do you turn a tap on? And I struggle with that. So I need pictures. So
we'll look for pictures for you. We'll look for pictures, Julie.
I'll look for a picture and I'll send it, and then you can tell me if it's right or not.
Okay, perfect. That sounds really good.
Thanks, guys.
So you guys, Kathy had a quick question. Not an easy journey since her mom passed. Will chakra work alone help, or is there recommended reading? Chakra work will help in the sense that if you use it to get to all 5 of those levels, then you're covering all your bases, and it will help. The other thing that I recommend for somebody who's passed, so you have really no chance of healing a relationship with them in person, is to do Gestalt therapy, which is have 2 chairs facing each other, and in this chair you're you, and in this chair you're the other person. And so you say, Mom, I'm really sad that we never bonded, and I feel like it's hard on me. And then you move over to this chair, and you're now your mom, and you're like, I'm sorry, daughter, that was not what I meant to do, or whatever she would say. You embody yourself and her and have that conversation. Or do some kind of writing where you write, here's my question as adult Kara, and now I'm writing for my mom. But tap into that and start healing that and having those conversations. And I'm sure that there are books on that. I don't know them off the top of my head, but I do know that it is possible to completely heal relationships with people who have passed, because the relationship is residing within you. It's yours. Our relationships are in us. They're not out there with that other person. My relationship with my mom is here. Her relationship with me is in her, right? So I can still heal what's inside of me, whether she's ever involved or not. Does that make sense, you guys? All right, we're going on 17 hours for class number 1, which was supposed to be 90 minutes. And we're losing people. They're dropping like flies. So let's just take a moment and just recenter, take a deep breath, close our eyes. And let's just reside in the knowledge that we've healed what we've healed and it's done. And we're ready to heal whatever is coming up next to be healed. And we're ready. We've earned the right to heal that. And we will bring in the information that we need to guide us, but we know that this class is more about the experience of ourselves within ourselves than it is about the information. The information is a tool to do the healing. And so we just acknowledge that we are open and receptive to healing in any form that it's going to come. And we just ask that it come at a pace and intensity that is manageable and comfortable as possible. And so it is. All right, everybody. Thank you for being here. Thanks for hanging in there. I'll get the replay out to you with the Facebook link as soon as possible. And I'll look forward to seeing you guys next week. Good luck with Chakra 2. It's a good one. Here we go. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
See ya.